Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this ship right here. This is what all the hullabaloo is about. This is what all the drama is about. This is the HMS Exeter, Tier 5 premium British cruiser. I can't think of very many other ships in World War II that had worse luck than the HMS Exeter. It wasn't that the ship wasn't designed well or built well. It just ran into the worst possible scenarios of worst possible scenarios. So let's talk about the little bit of the real life history of this ship. It was launched in 1929, commissioned in 1931. It did have 8-inch guns. It did have torpedo tubes. It did enter the war in the Atlantic, and its first duty was in company with HMS Achilles and Ajax to hunt down and chase down the commerce raider, the pocket battleship Panzerschiff Admiral Graf Spee under Captain Langsdorff. So the Exeter was the one that had the gunpowder to match up with the Graf Spee, sort of. This had 8-inch guns, the Graf Spee had 11-inch guns. So that didn't necessarily turn out very well. In fact, the ship was so torn up, it took over a year to rebuild her. At some course during the battle, a sailor was quoted as saying the only guns that Exeter had left to fire at the Graf Spee were completely outclassed by the Graf Spee secondary battery. So if that tells you anything about the damage, the massive amounts of damage that this ship took during the battle. But Langsdorff did not finish off the Exeter, and she managed to limp home, and it took a year to repair her. So in 1941, she was recommissioned, and she went out to escort convoys for all the good that was going to do. And then she ended up being transferred to the Far East because the Japanese were going to start some trouble over there. And she served in the Far East, but in 1942, the Battle of the Java Sea took place. Now, the Battle of the Java Sea is where the Japanese destroyer Yukikaze, along with several others, fired over 100 torpedoes and didn't hit a thing. However, during the course of the battle, the Exeter was beat up badly, and she was badly crippled. And 2 days later, in February of 1942, they caught up with her and they sank her. And she went down in the Java Sea. And most of the crew, believe it or not, were rescued by the Japanese. And the Japanese, being the fantastic humanitarians they were in 1942, 1/4 of them died in captivity as forced slave labor. So that was the Exeter, a short, fast, and furious career that was ended in the Java Sea. So what's she like in the game? Well, you've got 6 8-inch guns, 2 forward, or 4 forward, 2 back. You have triple torpedo launchers on both sides, one here and one on the other side. She's okay as far as speed goes, but I only got a 6-point captain on her. The opinions on this in game chat and forums are mixed. First of all, the hell that you went through to get this ship in the game, through all those Exeter quests, boggles the mind and makes you ask the question, was this ship worth it? For some, yes. For others, no. For some, as a collector ship, yes. So it's going to be a port decoration. For others, they think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So let's take a look at what the Exeter has to offer. In survivability, she is not survivable. Guys, if there is a glass cannon in this game, this ship is it. It's only a Tier 5 cruiser, and it's got Tier 3 armor. You heard me, Tier 3 armor. The Leander is far better armored than this ship. Everything will penetrate this ship. everything. If a butterfly lands on this ship, it is going to take a citadel. And you think I'm lying, wait till you see the armor layout on this ship. Artillery wise, this is where she kind of sings. The main battery is 8 inches. And you got 6 of them. They got a pretty good fire chance, 17%. You could put flags and increase that. If you fire AP at a cruiser at tier 5, it's going to overpen. So most of the time you're going to be firing HE anyway. This ship fires slowly. It's got a 15-second reload, and there's not much you can do to mitigate that. So you're going to fire. It's kind of like a miniature battleship. You're going to fire, wait, and then fire again. Okay, and you have to use your speed and maneuverability to stay out of trouble because your armor's not going to help you. Okay, torpedoes kind of shine too. These things, when they launch, they book 72 knots or a 72-second reload. That's pretty fast. They travel. I have to take a look. 61 knots, and they're 8 kilometers long. So when you fire these things, you're going to be firing them in knife fighting range, and you're going to book. They're going to hit the target if you aim correctly. AA for tier 5 is nothing to sneeze at. 32 will definitely cause problems for enemy aircraft carriers. In fact, this combined with your maneuverability makes you really, really hard to deal with for an aircraft carrier. Your speed is 32 knots. You don't lose that much speed in a turn. You turn fairly swiftly, and your rudder shift is 8.4 seconds. Concealment, 66. Again, once you fire your guns, everybody's going to know where you are. So your concealment's not that great. What is it, 10.7 kilometers by sea? Yeah. So until my little captain gets up there and gets the concealment skill, your mileage may vary. These are 8-inch guns. Pardon me. So putting this on probably isn't going to help you. I'm going down to the concealment expert. I have basically done this like I would a gunboat destroyer. And the reason I did that is because it is nothing more than a big, slower destroyer with huge guns for tier 5. That's what it is. So I put as much on here to prevent me from being killed by critical engine damage. We've all heard that too many times, right? And I loaded her for bear for napalm to try and produce as much damage as possible. Okay, so that's my little captain. Module wise, what I've done with the Exeter, you only get 3 slots. So I put the main armaments, I put damage control, and I put aiming system mod 1. It helps with everything. You could put mod 2, increase the traverse speed, but you don't want to get in a knife fight with this ship. You want to stay at range. You do not want to be up close and personal, and the reason for that is this. This is her armor. 13 millimeters. Yeah, don't check your eyesight. That's true. 13 millimeters. That's it. That's what you got. On the turret, you got 25. Everything can penetrate this ship. And the Citadel is only 76 millimeters. Yeah. This is truly a glass cannon. Is it fun to play? Yes. It's kind of like Soviet destroyers in a way. You know you're committing suicide, but damn it, you're going to take somebody with you. But that is the armor. 19 millimeters, 10 millimeters, 15 millimeters. No, you're not going to block a lot of stuff here. Okay, you're going to get Citadel. Citadel's short, but it sits right up underneath her funnels. And if you hit her back here, she's gone. One-hit wonder. She is truly a glass cannon. God bless her. Okay, so that is the Exeter. All right, that's the armor layout. And what I'm going to do for you is because I was working on these damn things here. I'm done with the British challenge, but I'm going to take her into a co-op battle and show you what she does. Spoiler alert, I do get smeared. I get blown to smithereens. And that should also demonstrate what not to do. Don't get hit in this ship. Woo, boy, I'll tell you what. This ship is a glass cannon. And I hope, sincerely, that you're able to get this ship and experience this, because it is fun to play. It is kind of zippy. Those guns do hit hard. The torpedoes are amazing. But damn, you ain't surviving jack squat in this ship. So, until we get to the co-op battle, you guys stay tuned. Okay, here's our co-op battle. And, it's co-op. It's just to get missions done. So we've got a carrier on our side. 3 battleships, looks like 2 cruisers, and 2 destroyers. In theory, in reality, I'm just a big destroyer. So, get in the battle. Anytime now. Alright. Okay, ship has a narrow profile, but it's a long ship, so we're going to zip right along, and you can see she accelerates fairly quickly, just like any other British cruiser. She gets up to speed very quickly. And I'm going to scooch on over here to the left. This is one of those our cap or yours type of battles. And generally speaking, if you look at the mini-map, the enemy just comes straight on down. They normally don't lemming train to one side or the other. They normally just plow on right on down into us. So hopefully, I'm thinking this won't be the side they plow down into. Again, the objective is just to win, get the points, move on, right? And I use this one to demonstrate some of the things that the Exeter can in fact do without getting itself killed right away. Because one good shot and you're done. Really. So, unfortunately for me, and this destroyer in front of me, what you see is a horde of enemies coming this way. All coming this way. Straight for our cap. So, I'm going to start to bend it a little bit to the left, and I'm going to open fire at range. And the first thing I'm going to shoot at is this Frenchie, the Emile Bertin. And I misjudged the range there. So I'm just going to scooch up between these 2 islands. And I'm trying to angle as much as I can. You don't want to waste damage control, but in this ship, you really don't have much of a choice. You've got to mitigate as much damage as you possibly can. Our destroyer has launched a good spread of torpedoes against that cruiser, and he's doing a good job. I decided not to launch torpedoes based upon the number of torps that are in the water, and before I can fire, he's dead. So I've got to pick out another target. I'm on fire again. As you can see, my health is rapidly diminishing on this ship. I cannot take a hit, and I cannot really be broadside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch torps. I'm actually launching at the Iron Duke, but they don't hit the Iron Duke, they hit something else. But I make a quick turn. You can see the ship turns fairly rapidly, and it doesn't bleed a lot of speed in that turn. But the turrets traverse very slowly, which is why turret mod 2 probably wouldn't be a good idea, because it makes it 5% slower than it already is, and you really don't need that, do you? So I'm going to bring these turrets around, see if I can put some gunfire on the enemy. I take a few hits from their destroyer over there, and I'm going to launch a salvo and kill the island. Yes, the island is well and truly dead. It will never again raise its head in co-op battles. So, now that my coughing fit is over. I do plaster the enemy destroyer with some rounds. And again, you're just waiting for your guns to reload because it takes 15 seconds to do it. And I get him. Okay.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
You would think firing 8-inch guns every single time you did that against a lower tier destroyer, you would hear that, but that's not the case. You know, RNG, right? So, there's the Iron Duke. But I'm not shooting at him. I'm shooting at the Krispy Kreme, the Krasnoy Krym, coming around the corner there. By the way, those of you who don't know Russian, Krasnoy Krym means Red Crimea. Alright, so I'm going to shoot again. Again, try and pile up some damage, but you see the damage is not coming as quickly as I'd like it to. And yeah, I'm in a position here where I'm going to die. And I'm just going to try and get as much damage out of this as I possibly can. It's just a matter of time. Look at that, one hit from a battleship. One solid hit. Now I'm done. Now you could say, well, that happens to any cruiser. In this case, it could have been any ship. It didn't have to be a battleship. It could have been anything. So that was the co-op battle. And let's take a look at the results. Okay, we did 46,891 damage, 2 torp hits, 24 shell hits. Not bad. Typical. You know, pretty good for a glass cannon, don't you think? Anyway, you guys be good to each other. Have a great, great day. Bye.